I'm back with my bestie, Nikki. Nikki, how are you?
I am so good. How are you?
What room are you in?
I'm in my new office. It's not set up by any means, but I'm away from the dining room table officially.
Oh, nice. That's gonna be. Is this the background I'm gonna be looking at permanently? Or you're gonna be facing a different direction?
I think I'm gonna move this whole place around. Like it still needs to be painted. I got to get furniture in here. It's kind of like open and echoey, and I'm gonna like move the desk around and probably get a new desk. There's work to be done, but my back and my hips were not allowing me to continue sitting at that table. It was not happening.
I kind of want some chickens running around in this room with you. I mean, you're on a farm. I want like some baby goats, like some farm animals.
Yeah, I
That'd
mean,
be
they're
great.
coming. There's baby chicks in the garage underneath me currently as we speak.
I want all the. I'm here for all the farm animals, especially the baby goats. I'm really excited. I am oddly excited about baby goats. I don't know why they're so cute to me, but they're just adorable.
They're fucking adorable. You need to come in the spring when we raise the barn and get the goats and the alpaca. You'll need to come visit.
Ooh, the alpaca.
Oh, the
Mhm.
alpaca. Griffin Rolle's with us. Griffin, what's going on, bro?
Nothing, just normal off season, a lot of working.
Your hair is looking majestic, if I do say so, my bald self. Looking really good. I haven't seen you since the games. Nikki, did I tell you the story? I ran into Griffin at the after party, and he was so uncomfortable. Like there were just drunk people everywhere, and he's just an athlete, doesn't drink that much, if at all, just hanging out. There's some drunk girl like throwing herself at him, and you were such a gentleman. I was so proud of you, bro. Like seriously. Like it was the most amazing moment. This girl was so drunk, and I please God don't let her hear this, but she was so drunk, and like she was like hitting on everyone in the room, and like she came up to Griffin. He's got like two drinks in his hand. I don't even know. We'll have to ask why you had the drinks, but he's sitting there holding these drinks, and she is blatantly hitting on you, and you gave her zero time, none. Like you were the biggest gentleman I've ever seen. Like you were trying so hard to get away from her. I was just so proud. I'm like, man, this is like the nicest dude ever. So nice.
Aw.
Yeah, John was helping me get out of the situation, so it was a good time.
I did.
What's the
I want to.
opposite? What's the opposite of a wingman, John?
Well, I want to clarify. When I was his wingman helping him get out of the situation, I wasn't taking advantage of the situation to get him out of it. I was also trying to get out of the situation. He made it sound briefly like I was taking one for the team. I was not taking one for the team. We were all trying to get her out of there.
You were
What I
just
ended
like,
up, yeah,
ma'am, this is a Wendy's.
well,
Ma'am.
yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. She was. Here's what it was like. I don't even remember what she said to him, but it was like, you ever seen one of those moments where someone is just blatantly hitting on you? Like it's like not even close. They're just like all over you. And I took one look at him and was like, oh my God, he's so uncomfortable. Like he wants nothing to do with this. And he was like, he kept deflecting and trying to get her girl away, and she wouldn't. And so I kind of finally stepped in between them so she would get the hint. And she just like staggered off somewhere, just like left.
Just
And
so
so I said to
pissed.
him, I'm like, dude, like I didn't know he had a fiance or girlfriend or whatever. I'm like, man, you weren't having anything to do with that. He's the look on his face is worth $1,000,000. He's like, he wanted nothing to do with her. I'm like, it's just nice to see a gentleman out in the wild because you don't see it that
Out in
often.
the wild.
Yeah, you don't see it that often. You just don't.
That was a wild place. That was definitely a wild.
Do you drink at all or a little?
Yes, and off if I do, but so
Okay.
like I really didn't much my entire life. It's kind of more like a little older, but definitely not any time when I'm very serious about training.
Well, it was really funny to me. Like I always wonder, like the athletes, do they drink? Do they not drink? Like what their deal is. And this wasn't about alcohol. It's just like you were just so uncomfortable with her, like so quickly, and she was not having it. She was oblivious. It was great. It was like a reverse. I don't know what to describe it as, Nikki. Like it's always the other way around. It's always some drunk dude hitting on a girl, and this time it was like so opposite. Like I didn't even know how to handle it.
Mm,
Like this
I
is
love
so
that.
weird. Yeah,
I
it
love
was.
that. First of all, I love the equality in the situation. I think it's great. I think drunk girls blatantly hitting on dudes should be more the norm, and as should the gentlemanly response of ma'am, this is a Wendy's. I'm not interested. Thank you very much. You guys handled the situation perfectly. Proud of both of you. Excellent job.
Well, and to be fair, I watched her stagger around that place for an hour doing the same thing to a lot of people. So it wasn't like just our little group she was hitting on. She was all over the place. It was
Hey, listen, the girl wanted some, and I hope she got some. More power
well,
to her for trying wherever she felt she needed to.
there was a lot of testosterone in the room. I would believe she would, but
You would
I mean,
think.
in her
who knows?
defense, there were also a lot of other people doing the same thing. So
True.
room full of company.
Sounds like a party.
Is
Yeah.
being a games athlete and like visible at those events, Griffin, like do you get more attention from the opposite sex, or was that like just a rare thing that doesn't happen that often?
No, I've had that happen pretty often. I don't necessarily know if it's like, hey, that's a games athlete. Let's talk to him. I'm just a normal pro. I don't know. I mean, I also try to avoid a lot of situations that are like that. So in those positions, if I can.
What's their best pickup line? Are they asking for hair tips?
I get
You wanna
those pretty
know-
often.
Do you?
For sure. Yeah.
I don't. I know.
But
That's
I
weird.
don't think that's hitting on me. I think that's just a serious question.
That is, I would agree. I think that is an absolute serious question. If I saw you out and about in the wild, I think I would be like, that man's hair is glorious. I must
glorious.
know everything. I must
How
know
long?
everything.
How long did it take to grow out that long? How long did that take?
Maybe 4 years. Now I'm actually
Seriously?
like getting it cut and not just letting it ride. But yeah, somewhere around there.
Wait, you say you're getting it cut? Are you getting it trimmed, or you like regularly? Or
Yeah,
you been doing like
trimmed.
locks for love or something?
I will do that. I will donate it. I have not decided when I'm going to cut it off. It will happen at some point. I just don't know when that is. But I'll donate it. I've been told multiple times the best one to donate to. But I will be donating it.
Is there a charity
know-
for 50-year-old meme lords that you could donate to? I'm
You
just
can
like,
donate your hair to so John can make a
Yeah.
wig of your luxurious locks.
I mean,
you know-
I didn't say it had to be me, Nikki. I'm just saying, like, just some non-specific 50-year-old meme
Right.
lord.
No,
That's
of
all I'm
course.
saying.
Of course.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
I used to have this conversation with my husband all the time because he had long hair for like 10 years. Beautiful, like just past his shoulders, curly, your color, Griffin, like beautiful, orangey, reddy. I loved everything about it. And like all the time we would date, he'd be like, yeah, someday I'll cut it off. Like someday I'll be sick of it. And I was like, no, it's my favorite thing. Please don't. And he finally chopped it off maybe like 3 years ago now. And it looks amazing. Don't get me wrong. Handsome dude. But every time I show someone pictures or they look at like our wedding photos or something, they're like, mad long hair. And I'm just like, R.I.P. I miss it. But yeah, he used to say the same. So, after a decade, maybe you'll get sick of it and be like, I'm all set.
Times. I did it in football. I've donated it twice in college. So this is the third. I thought about cutting it off for my wedding, and I haven't. I don't think she wants me to. So I don't know.
When is that
It's up in the air.
happening?
This year, actually.
Oh my goodness. Where are you in the wedding planning process? How's that going?
It's a lot, but we're almost there. I mean, now we're just waiting on everyone to finish replying and saying if they're coming or not. Final meeting this Thursday for making sure everything else is. I'm a pretty organized guy, so we're I think the last real thing I have to do is make sure that I have the suit that I want for. Yeah.
That's a lot, dude. That's like just the year that you get married. There's a lot of time and effort, meetings, emails, coordinating people, like whatever. It's a lot to have on your plate while you're also full-time games training and coaching. I know you do that. And also I'm dying to get to your demo team experience, but just in general, like you've had a lot on your plate this year, dude. What has it been like trying to balance everything out?
So last year I specifically chose to do final online so I could save money so I could get engaged and watch that I needed. So last year I planned to do that, and then this year I was trying to plan, obviously, and then we'll see what happens after that. But the balance work and that training this year, I got a little bit better at it. Time outside of training to be like, look, this is what you have to do for the wedding. You have to have this done by this amount of time, and forget about it for whatever time so you can focus on training a little bit more and coach a little bit less during like the end season time. So right now, since it's out, I have like a boys lacrosse team, like a high school team that I'm doing strength and conditioning for, an athlete, a 13-year-old girl that wants to go to the games, and that, and I'm just a little bit more busy now. So once we get back towards January on everything and get back into full swing mode, but the wedding on top of it has been a little bit nothing I can't handle.
Yeah, it makes sense now that you say you're a super organized guy, because even just planning out your year like that, even just knowing exactly like when you can ramp up and ramp down all the other things that you've got going on in your life, like given how long the CrossFit season is or can be, you really need to, like, you already need to be planning all that stuff now for even next year. You need to be like, great, who can I coach, and when can I take that on? And if the season starts here, or if my season starts there, or if I'm in the last chance qualifier, or if whatever it may be, like, that's do you have a good like planner, day timer?
I do. First year I have an actual planner. I have like a journal. I keep everything in, and then obviously so
That's amazing. I love it. Well, I am dying to know what your experience was like this past game season as being a part of the demo team, because man, it's so interesting. Like, we had Fee on the other day, and I've known Allison Scuds for years. Like, we've had Paul Tremblay on the show. Just, it feels like this almost like religious experience, right? Like, everyone who's been on the demo team, they just have the most incredible things to say about that experience. And I think it's so beautiful because our sport is unique in that it's like an honor to be a part of that team. And I love hearing the story of people's experiences. So if you could start from like the moment you got the call and just tell us what it was like being there that week.
I was warned about 2 weeks before. We already have our demo team set. However, we have one international athlete, and they said, just in case if they can't come, and I said, absolutely, you just let me know. And if we do, it'll be within 24 to 48 hours, and then you get on a flight. And right. So they did give me an advance warning, which was very helpful. I told my coaches and all the and the owners of the gym, said, hey, this may happen. I don't think it will, but just let's have a backup plan in case this happens, to cover everything. And they emailed me on Wednesday, the week before the game started, and I was on a flight Friday morning. So it was a very quick, like, hey, let's go. And once I started training a little bit harder. I was a little time off after the last chance qualifier. It's just been a long season, and I was like, I'll rest. And instead, it was a quick turnaround into you're about to go do a lot. Better not be unfit and get shown up. So get ready, get your big boy pants on. So we got out there, and it was more so like, hey, like I had an idea of but I was surprised day of testing workouts. We did 6 on Saturday, I think.
Oh my.
Yeah. But it was cool. It was fun. Like, you don't necessarily just do one workout. You do bits and pieces, and then you retest it and readjust and all that good stuff. with a bunch of people that I personally I have never. I knew was James, really, because I talked to him after when he was 1 point short of qualifying and trying to give him a good pep talk while we were getting drug tested. Yeah, so he was the only one, and we got put together with a bunch of people, and because it was really cool to see some other athletes that were in the same place. They were really close. They should have made it like everybody else, and but never getting to know those people until you were, and now you're also doing all this really hard stuff together, and you kind of create. It was really interesting and really cool to see. And then like I also made some friends that like, hey, next time I'm for you and be weird, right?
Yeah, I love that. I always get the sense that the demo team is such a family. Of course, I know the lore of like you guys, you know, you have to drop everything you're doing and go and do a thing or test a thing or whatever. And you kind of like, you always have to be together. And I can like, I think I said when Fee was on the show, it reminds me of like, you know, when they like walk toddlers from like the preschool door to the whatever, and they all have to hold the rope. Like, that's how I feel about you guys. Like, you all are always like holding the same rope or like locking arms when you walk somewhere because you must be together at all times because who knows? Like, I don't think everyone realizes how quickly things change at the games. Like how quickly someone or, you know, Boz or whoever else who's in charge of, there's so many people involved, might just be like, hey, last minute, we need to change this workout. Hey, last minute, we need to change this location. Hey, last minute, we need to change this implement that we were going to use or the weight. And we need legit games caliber athletes to like make it make sense. Like that shit happens fast. I don't think people realize or recognize like you guys are out there sometimes like as athletes are taking the field.
Right. Absolutely. It was, that was the coolest part is like, as much as I loved it this year, it was really, like you said, it was an honor to be there. Other athletes will never get to understand it. Like it gave me such an appreciation for what just being out there and competing all the time. You don't think of all these small details. So like when it has like, this is what they could have done better. This is what they could have done better. They really sucked here. All the adjustments that they did make instead, you'd be like, oh my God, they did so at every corner, every turn. They thought of everything. Because there's so many don't think about. And then they still think about it somehow. So I was thoroughly impressed with how well that entire group, Boz and Ed, the entire HQ that's running this, it was, especially with the whole turnover, right? You change from Dave, now you've got a whole new guy, and it really gave me more passion for CrossFit. I mean, specifically to see Bob, like just like write a workout and be like all secretive and show. It was so cool to see how bloody he is about CrossFit. It's so cool. Also, he can do like all this stuff. So any crossover, he can do those in his sleep.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if people even realize Boz's level of fitness. He can literally do all this stuff. Like he's kind of a ninja and it's a little bit scary and people don't recognize. Because I feel like he's one of those people that like if he had like a big sweatshirt on, you'd be like, oh, is he even like all that fit? And then you're like, oh my God, he's the fittest of them all.
Let's be fair to Dave Castro though. He did a great 5-minute deadlift for 1 rep max.
Dave Castro, well, I gotta be honest. Make fun of him if you will. Dave Castro was also scary fit. That dude has done some real life fitness. Real life.
Dave whipped my ass on a trail run one time. I'm not making fun of him. I mean, when I say whip my ass, it wasn't close. I'm a pretty decent runner. It was not close. Like, not only was it not close, I was like holding my knees when I was done, and he was just like crispy fresh, just like high-five me when I was coming across, like he had done nothing, and I acted like I had just cured cancer from, you know, working at absolute max. So he's absolutely fit, but I'm always going to make fun of him.
For sure.
Always. Hey, you want to see something awesome? I'm going to show you something awesome before we get back into this. Wide zombie distance. Here's what I would look like with Griffin's hair.
Wow.
I think I look like Aquaman. Don't you think?
Yeah.
I don't. First of all,
The
you look
original
like a beautiful bearded
Aquaman.
lady.
I think I look hot. I need this look. I need this look. I think this is a good
I
look.
feel like
It is. Chick wouldn't have
your
been
eyes
hitting
are
on me,
so
John.
beautiful in this photo. You're just
All
like
right.
a beautiful specimen.
All right, first one, Nikki. Those are my real eyes. So let's
I
like not
know.
act like the eyes are photoshopped. Everything else is me.
No,
The
I know. I'm
face,
giving
the
you I'm
eyes.
giving you a real life compliment. I don't care about your hair or your beard. You look beautiful in this
It's just like,
photo.
wow, your eye. Those fake eyes look great, John.
No, they're
Those-
real. I'm telling you, those real eyes look amazing. I was giving my bestie a compliment.
I love it so much. I love it. Anyway, sorry. He sent that to me, and I'm like, man, now I do have FOMO. Wishing I normally don't give a shit that I'm bald. Like I'm like, I just own it. I shave my head. I'm like, fine, it's what it is. Like I can't control it, so I'm gonna do it. But now I have FOMO, and I'm like, damn, I'd look good.
That's your Halloween
Could you invest in like a
costume.
solid wig, like a expensive wig?
Dudes do not wear wigs, Nikki.
Why? Why not?
No.
I'll back
Wait.
you up, John. Do it.
You think? Should I get a
Yeah.
weave? I could get It'd be unbelievable. It'd be great. It'd be
You
awesome.
need hair to have a weave. I know this because I had
Oh.
one for many years.
Oh, so I can't do that. Okay, that's just how cool I am. I don't know, but I couldn't even use the unbelievable joke. It's such a great joke.
Oh,
I can only do a wig. That sucks.
yeah.
No, I'm not. I can't. No, I'm not doing it. I'm just gonna live with the
All
bald
right.
thing.
All right.
It's fun. But I look good in that photo. I like it. I'm gonna send Wide Zombie a Christmas card, and I'm just gonna keep that photo and pretend it's me. I also can't
love
grow a
it.
beard. That's my real problem. Like I have a beard. You guys can't see it well because I shaved it today, but even when I grow it out, it wouldn't look like that. No chance.
Why?
Because it won't grow that long. It just won't grow. Yeah, it won't look like that.
Hmm.
God did not want me to be beautiful. He knew I'd be too powerful.
That's true.
That was the problem.
Oh my god.
That was the problem.
Anyway, okay, I have more demo team questions. Let me get us back on
Okay,
track.
cool.
Yes.
So what I also love about the demo team, especially every year, is that, like you said, it's like a cast of athletes that any one of you guys could have qualified, could have stood on the podium. Like, everyone is so close in the race, and it's also very dependent on what event you were at, what programming you had, like all that stuff. So the athletes are second to none. But I especially love, because you are arguably one of the strongest athletes that we have ever seen in the sport. And so I love having the super strong guy on the demo team, because you set the bar really freaking high, right? So when Boz is looking at what weights do we set as a standard, what implements do we set as a standard, and you are part of the demo team, all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's possible. So we're not going to dial this back for anyone. And I would love to know how that testing went for you, especially when it came to the sandbag.
So it was just Mitchell and I that tested it back there. Well, the main question was like, Boz, can I start at a heavier sandbag? I really don't want, because I picked up like the 270 that was just sitting there, and like all of the staff just looked and were like, what? He's about to just destroy this. Sandbag than 200 pounds, I don't think. I mean, I don't own one. But when we did it, we did it pretty quick. I think it was about, and when we watched the event, it took them about like over an hour to do it. So by the time out of breath and sweaty and going really fast, but when we got to there was only a 330. We tested it, so it was like let's be prepared
with the program, guys. We need some work. Start hauling that sand out. Come on.
So the heaviest previously was Dan Bailey, who did like 300 pounds, and I was like, okay, cool. And then the 300 was really, really easy, honestly. But what I was really because everyone had this like different way to do it. Justin Medeiros, and I don't know why he surprised me. I shouldn't be surprised. I am so impressed how he did that. Justin wouldn't be known as like the strong guy in that event, and so well technique wise moving that sandbag. I just was like blown away at that. These other guys hit 340, but that one was the most impressive to me. Just to see him versus raw power, because when I picked it up, I just picked it up. I literally picked it up right immediately, didn't struggle with it at all, and just threw it up there. It was really cool. But that was also a really cool event. I was like, when he told us about it and was like, look, event, I was like, that's actually a really, really cool idea, because it's strength. Everyone just wants to be good at cleaning and snatching. Well, you got to be strong in other ways. And it really showed that right there. And then you had Nick just show. I thought it was cool.
I got to know, because you're universally known as one of the strongest in the sport. Would you have won that event if you had been competing? Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Doing it in
I wouldn't.
room. I'll put it this way: the energy in that room was unbelievable. So I asked some of the guys before the event, and they were like, "We tried sandbag, and like we really struggled. Like we couldn't pick it up." And then they go out there, and they were like a superhuman. I'm like, the energy in that room is incredible. Just playing around with the sandbag more than just kind of going into it not knowing what. Hey, just absolutely. I don't have a question that I wouldn't have won that event.
How much?
I mean, just so Danny did so well at that event. It wasn't even close with anybody else.
Yeah, I back that up, that Griffin would have won that event, because I had a front row seat to Griffin winning the strength event in, oh my gosh, where were we? We were in Norway. We were in Norway for the Norwegian CrossFit Championship, and it was like a clean, was it power clean event?
It was.
Or was that anything clean?
No, it was a clean max front squat, but you had to increase by 5 pounds every time or something.
Right. I literally had a front row seat. I was like 10 feet away filming, and the sheer power, we were like, we needed more plates. Like we were, the entire competition was straight up running out of plates. Like I thought you were going to have to take plates from other athletes who had already dropped out. I can attest to the fact that he would have won that, because I have seen it with my own 2 eyes.
It's always interesting to me how many of these events come down to technique versus strength in the sand. I don't know squat about strongman. And I realize there's a ton of technique, because I've been doing a lot of sandbag lately, far less weight, I might add. But I do realize as I've been doing it, there is a lot of technique to it. It isn't just as simple as picking it up and throwing it to your shoulder, but you're crazy strong. And I say that, humbly, like I'm not trying to suck up to you. You're just like crazy strong. And so I always wonder, like, if this was something you trained, like, could someone smaller, that doesn't clean as much as you or bench as much as you, they'd be better in that event with better technique? Or is this just something you think, man, I'm just suited for sandbag?
I wouldn't say. I will say, if you want to get into like more technical side of things, like if you have long arms, because you can get your hands around the bag and interlock your hands or grab your wrist. So to really get their hands around something or lift, like you're not getting to be able to use your leg completely if you can't lock your hands in. But then also you talk about the short problem was with those bags, they kept getting so big that it was the size of your torso. So if you had a short, easier. So I mean, to your point, someone that's smaller with more technique could, which just makes it cool. It just makes it, different. You could be whatever and maybe not do as well, but not in that one specific where I know how to keep the sandbag close to your body. You'll do decently well.
I got my ass whooped by 2 women over the weekend using the same poundage sandbag I was using. So I'm just going to claim technique and move on with my life so I don't feel so emasculated. How about that?
Fair. That's fair. So,
Fair.
so
Fair.
coming off of all of that, like, are you in a different headspace than you were before you had that experience? Like, how did it shape what your plans are for this next upcoming competitive season?
I'd say I just like CrossFit's going, especially with the guys that are running it. And on that other side, like I have more appreciation than just some guy that was trying to compete in CrossFit. And like I have more appreciation behind why things are done the way they go. It doesn't necessarily change my trajectory of what I'm going to try and do. It just gave me more I think I really needed, other than just being. I wouldn't like people say they're CrossFitter. I just do CrossFit as a sport, right? And now I feel more. It seems so weird, but like more shifted towards like the community, just of that side of it. Because I mean, when I train by myself. Training in a community, I'm training by myself. So like that was, I don't know, that gave me a rough. But for the season for next year, it'll be the same. Just we got to train and we got to games, but try to win. Like that's the goal. Like everyone, you can't say that you're just. I mean, yeah, Justin is incredible, but every single person that goes to the game should be saying, I want to win the CrossFit Games and do what I can to do that.
Anything that you're coming away from this game? I mean, this was a much different game than we've seen in previous years, right? Different events, different programming. I think we had a much more stacked field than we've seen in years. You know, the level of competition was higher. Anything you're walking away from thinking, all right, I've got to go do X differently in order to get back and be competitive?
The one thing I should do better now is play with my fitness. And that's an exact learn to play with your fitness. Don't be so thrusters and wall balls and power cleans only. Like you clearly saw handstand out of a parallel L sit and then walk. Like you're not just doing the same old anymore. Workouts, I really were. I was. I can't. It's unfortunately just always the matter of the fact. I was built to do these games workouts every time. Harder, they're more challenging, and it's. I mean, I got to test them actually this year, and at the end, clearly, like it was able to compare some of the stuff that I did to. Was really. It made me feel a little bit better about where I was at. Let's put it that way.
There you go. Dude, the audio on this end's killing me. I'm just going to be honest.
We're making it work. We're making it work.
Griffin, I love you so much, man. I ran into Griffin. I was in downtown Madison, and I saw him from across the street. And I'm like, I know that beautiful long-haired dude. I got to go say hi. And
oh, yeah.
I run across the street. I always worry that people aren't going to like recognize me or remember me because you were on a show a year and a half ago. Like it's been a while. And when you don't see somebody face to face, it's hard. You know, when you see them in person, like there's always that moment of recognition. And big thank you to you. Like as soon as I saw you, you immediately knew who I was, which always makes me feel better. Like because I'm very awkward about approaching people, like really awkward. So
you can't
appreciate it. Can't miss this, you know.
Of course,
easy to spot.
I feel like the games is like the least awkward place. Somehow, I don't know how, but somehow, like even the most awkward people have like, I don't know, we're just like we're in our community and we're like doing our thing and we're like all there to be excited about and nerd out about our sport. That like somehow everyone just becomes like super friendly and welcoming and I don't know. I love it. I feel like it's Even the
don't.
most awkward of CrossFitters are open and
I have this weird relationship with the games where I've gotten really good at noticing when people know who I am and they want to say hi. Like
Sure,
you
for sure.
kind of learn, and I'm sure you see it too. They like look at you, they recognize you. You can tell they recognize you. And I find it's a real privilege for me to get to talk to people. Like someone wants to
Yeah.
talk to me, they're going to get all my time, because it's just like, I don't know. Like I just sit there and think, man, if somebody like wants to meet me, why would you not give them all your
Right.
time?
Yeah, I fully agree.
And so that part I really enjoy. But then when I see someone like Griffin, who I really respect, and I want to talk to him, I get really awkward. And like, I don't want to be that guy, I don't want to be that guy going, oh man, I'm a big fan. I love what you do. Like, I just feel like a nerd, so I
Totally.
struggle. Like I ran into Pat Vellner at the after party, and I walked over and said hi to him. And I'm like, hey, Pat, I just want to say hi. And he's like, John, how you doing? And, it's typical Pat, as nice as could be. And I probably said 2 words to the guy. I'm like, hey, I just wanted to say hi. Great job this week. See you later. And I like,
Hi, I love you so much. I'll see you later.
yeah, it's like, and I know Pat. Like, I know him pretty well. But it's like, I don't know. It was just like kind of awkward that way, So it's just
It's because they're in their environment. They're in their element.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just weird for me, man. Like, I just struggle with it,
Well,
Maybe if it's around
but other people probably feel the same way. Meet you, they probably feel the exact same way. So at least you now know what it, I guess, feels like.
Well, I always have this little joke to myself that, all this is going to end for me sooner than later. And at some point, people are going to look back on their photos and like, who is this old bald dude I took a photo with? Like, who is this guy? Like, no one's going to remember me at all, at all. And that's going to be the best part. Like, they're gonna have no idea, but there I am in the photos, like they should know me. It's going to be the best.
I am the absolute worst at like knowing when people are like there to want to say hi to you or like take a picture or whatever. I'm like actually awful at it. I was walking around games like more than, I don't know, maybe like a dozen times. I would just be like doing whatever, probably stuffing my face with an acai bowl. And Matt would be like, Nikki, that girl's been standing here for like 5 minutes. She obviously just like wants to say hi or take a picture or something. And I'm like, what? And I like turn and there's like seeds in my teeth and there's like acai over my chin. And I'm like, oh my God, hi. Are you sure?
That's actually true. That's very true about you, Nikki. I noticed that at the game too. You'll be like when I'm in a crowd, I'm looking at faces and eyes and seeing who's looking and who's paying attention. You're like this. You're like,
because I'm like still
looking around
convinced
the
that why
ceiling.
the fuck would anyone want to actually like take the picture with me? And the number of people who came up to us at games who are like, we listen to your podcast and we really like it. I was constantly like, really?
I know you are. You're always like, what? 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 You know who I am?
I don't know why. I don't know why it's still, I'm like, no one's
You're one of the most
listening to this
recognizable
show.
faces out there because you're on the sidelines doing interviews. Like everybody knows who you are. Everyone.
Yeah, but that doesn't make me cool. That doesn't make me cool. That makes me on the Jumbotron.
People will be like, Nikki, and you'll be like, how do you know who I am? Like you're so shocked. Like they have no clue. Every time you do it, I'm just
totally
like,
real.
I'm like, what is wrong with you? That's what I think every time you do it.
No,
what is wrong with you?
I'll tell you why. It's because I'm constantly fighting it in this house. Because I'm constantly, whenever we're at games or wherever, and Matt's like, oh my God, people actually know who you are. I'm like, yeah, I keep trying to tell you that I like do this thing that sometimes people know me for. And he's like, no, you're not really famous. I'm totally fighting it in this house. That's why. And then I get out there and I'm like, I was right.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
There's that. Griffin, you got to be like, I mean, you're very recognizable, dude. Like, you're one of those ones, you got the hair going on, you got the beard. Like, how often does this happen for you? People like stopping you, going, come here, beautiful Thor-like man. Take a photo with me.
Actually, a lot more this year. Honestly, at the games this year, it was a lot more. But I just get a lot of weird stares. I don't know if it's a lot of times from men, if they're like, because they just see masculinity, or if they're looking to fight me. I don't know. I just get a lot of weird Disney World. It's weird.
Well, you did get you got reposted on the games website this year for that. I think it was the bench press, if I remember right. You did like I forget what the weight was, but it was like a bazillion pounds. It was like a crazy amount of pounds.
I wish they would have posted the clean. I think it was the heaviest clean in cross. It was 416.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous amount of weight. And then you did the bench press, and then we had this like wave going through CrossFit this year of like every rep anyone ever did got kind of micro analyzed. And I don't want to get in that too much, but I do want to know, like, as an athlete, do you like that? Do you respect it? Does it drive you crazy? Like,
it's a good
or do
question.
you have an opinion at all?
I mean, I do. It's just an opinion. I think it's good, but I also much better way. A lot of times people down for no reason at all, and everyone's just doing the best they can and do the best they can. So I think constructive criticism is a way to approach a situation instead of just, as the kids say, clout we can get. And as much media as possible. So I do appreciate that where they're trying to get it to is to make it more consistent, because I've also been in online ones where I've had a problem apparently and I wasn't answered. I've seen other people get away with stuff that isn't fair, and I'm doing now I'm in 5th place instead of 1st place or whatever. So I angle of where it's going. Like I just said, I just feel there's a better way to. So camera angles make a big difference in a lot of things. Pictures in general, when you, or a lot of people, how they use Tinder and make them look different.
Camera angles absolutely help in Tinder, for the record. So I hear, allegedly. I always wonder how many athletes will just quit posting videos online. And not because they're trying to cheat, but because, to your point, like video, angles do make a difference. Like I've posted angles of myself where I'm like, I know that squat was deep enough. And then you look back at the video and you're like, there's no way that was bad. And you just realize it's a bad angle, And so I wonder how many athletes are just going to go, screw it, I'm done posting lifts, because they don't want the grief. Did you ever consider that when you're posting stuff, or no?
I mean, people don't like me a lot of times because I just lift a lot of weight, and I don't mean to them either.
Right.
But a lot of people are like, well, I wish I could do that. He can't do that. He uses steroids. He does this. He does that. Like, I mean, whatever, man. People tell me it's great and weighed 60 pounds. People just want an excuse to say shit. And you have your excuses, and you can keep staying where you're at if you want to be like them. But no, I mean, I'll keep posting stuff. And if people get mad about it, they get mad about it. I mean, there's no need to attack someone personally.
Do you
it is what it is.
Into the same camp of people, along the same lines? There's like so many people now going, okay, well, all CrossFitters are doping.
Mm-hmm.
Like I hear that so often. I was laughing this week because I forget the guy's name, and I don't need to blast him here, but some masters athlete got popped at the games for doping. He's 65. And I looked at the photo of him. I'm like, I'm bigger than that asshole. Like, I wish somebody blamed me. I wish someone would say I'm doping. Like, I got more muscle than that dude, And so you can't look at someone like yourself and go, all right, you're out here cleaning 417. Well, he's obviously doping because he's cleaning 417. Like, how do you feel about it? Does it piss you off, or just say you're at the point you don't care anymore?
That I take it as a compliment, man. It's just something that you won't be able to do with yourself. You can't do it. Like, there's only one way to do it, apparently, and that's use drugs. I think when you're 6 years old. But no, the people that do use it, it doesn't make me mad. Like people that when there's money on the line and there's a sport, it'll always be there. But that doesn't mean using anything. And then there are people that are using it, but even if they are, they're not bad people. You know, some people say make a bad decision. Some people just want to win that bad that they'll do what they. I can respect that in a sense, but I mean, it's your life. It's not mine. I don't hate you for doing whatever you want to do. Bad person, and that doesn't make you a bad person. And I mean, it's not my. I mean, for instance, like Ricky Garrard is one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Yeah,
why? What did he do to you?
Well,
I agree. I agree.
I don't think it makes you a bad person. I think it can make you a bad person in the moment. Meaning, like, if the competition is saying don't dope and you're doping, it's a shitty thing to do.
Yeah.
My question is like for you, those of you that are, advocating, hey, I'm clean, I'm doing this natural, and we have no reason to doubt you. Like, I believe you're clean. You're strong as fuck. Like, it's just amazing to me. If I were out there as strong as you and someone were going, oh, well, they're obviously doping, I'm just trying to wrap my mind around how that would feel as a person, especially as someone who's not getting, accused of doping. Like, I'm kind of the opposite. I'm like, damn, I wish someone would think I was doping. I'm just not strong enough,
I'm about to post on your Instagram all the time. Every time you lift something, the only way.
Totally on steroids. That guy is totally doping. Yes, you should.
I wish you would. I'm going to work out that deal with you. I'm going to post a lift, and I want you to come in with just a little picture of syringes. That's all I want. Just all the little syringes. And I'll be like, yes, finally. Someone thinks I'm doping. Nikki's doping. You can tell. She's strong as fuck. It's great.
For sure.
Oh, I'm juicing hard.
Yeah. Well, it is like I said, it is what it is. I mean, it's a poor choice, but it's a choice. I mean, you choose what you ever try to control that. Just, you probably should listen to what they tell you to do. And a lot of people can't follow the rules of taking the shopping cart back to the grocery store and parking lot. So,
well, that's a big deal.
Okay.
Too.
Shopping cart. Hold on. Shopping cart returning is the litmus test for just be a fucking good, decent human being. I feel very strongly about shopping cart returns. It is so easy. It is so easy. And the number of people who don't do it, who send those poor grocery store people out in the rain, collecting shopping carts, scratching people's cars. It's so fucking easy to put your shopping cart back. It is the absolute litmus test of just like, be a good human being. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
For real.
I mean, one, we have grocery stores everywhere, and then two, they could just take the return, have to take it back in. So,
truly, there's never like more than 2 feet away from wherever you parked. Just put it back. Unbelievable.
Well, I just appreciate that you seem to have a really good spirit about it, Griffin. I mean, I think this is the CrossFit community's been weird lately. It feels like we're really coming together around the affiliates and even the sports side of it. But then there's been a lot of, kind of really aggressive behavior from a lot of people around doping and no reps and how we're, we look at what athletes are doing and go, oh, they can't possibly be doing that through hard work, and I just think your spirit of, you're really positive about what you're doing and you're working hard and you're moving forward and thinking about next season. I just really appreciate that, as opposed to, kind of punching back. So thanks for what you're doing.
Of course.
For sure.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help to throw stones at someone that's already throwing. Just, if you choose that life and you choose to bring others down, man, I don't want that. I don't need that. And I can avoid that. And so can everyone else. Yeah. I mean, it's just,
Yeah. I fully agree. I also think it's a really It's a really just smart way to look at it, to be like, there are improvements we could make in the system. And there are athletes who are doping and they should get caught and improvements should be made. But there is a better way than slinging mud left and right. There is absolutely a better, more constructive way, because I agree with you. And a lot of what is said, even in those really like hateful, hurtful comments, has a kernel of truth in it. And so that should be recognized and something should be done with it. But I'm with you that the process and the just dumpster fire that is the internet is not the way.
I appreciate the fact that people are trying to improve the sport and are willing to, push the CrossFit games to do a better job and willing to call no reps, because there are plenty of athletes, and I don't think you're one of them, but I think there are plenty of athletes out there that are shorting reps to try to, they know that their kind of presence is bigger than the person judging them. And they know, all right, I can probably push this right to the edge in a competition of what's acceptable. And I may or may not get a no rep. Let me just see what happens. Like, I get it. That happens. It's competition. I appreciate the fact there are people willing to call those no reps. I think that's fine. It's a sport.
Right.
And
well, yeah,
every sport has that. It's cool.
Right. I mean, the other part is like in that sense, racing and going as fast as you can, and you don't get extra grass. You get credit for your hip crease below your knee crease. So skating the line is part of the job. Deliberate, different, and it's hard to see between those lines when you're just in some negativity. So
yeah, it's a lot riding on it.
I think every sport, every professional sport, is about getting as close to the line as you can to get as much advantage as you can to win. You can't name a sport
as possible. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no sport that doesn't fall into that to some degree. So I appreciate the fact we got people out there doing it. I'm really talking more about the masses. Like, it just feels like there's like this big kind of volume of people now that are going, oh, that don't have a level 1. They're just like, they're not coaches at all. They just see something. They're sitting on their couch with a bag of Cheetos and going, oh, I would have gone unbroken. Fuck that guy. It's like, yeah, it's like, no. Like, let's settle down for a minute. It's just, but so I just appreciate when athletes are, can remain positive about it and realize that, this is just kind of the normal aspect of the sport. So kudos to you, man, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, we're kind of right up against our time, but, again, Griffin, really congratulations for this year. I know you wanted to be competing, but that demo team, huge honor, and you did a great job with it. It was great to see you in Madison. I got no doubts, next time we see you in Madison, it's going to be on the competition floor, not on the demo team. I'll do demo team in your place. How about that?
Ooh.
And
celebrity demo team.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Like, John's going to demo how to not do a handstand walk. It's going to be great. It'll be super fun. But anyway, super proud of you and appreciate you coming on the show tonight, for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Hi.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Hello.
Look at that handsome man. For those listening, we got a beautiful Rottweiler just popped in. He's gorgeous.
I love that dog.
I know.
Boy.
He's a big, big
boy.
He's almost 11 months, and he's going to be a large one.
I kind of like to have one. I think that's the only kind of dog that could put up with Bean, if I'm being honest, like a Rottweiler or a pit bull.
I love Rottweilers so much.
Oh, they're gorgeous. They're so sweet
so
too.
pretty.
They're so sweet. Such a nice dog. Everyone I've ever met was just like the nicest dog ever. I used to train with this guy. He owns the gym I go to, one of the two gyms I go to now. And he had a Rottweiler. And this dog would pick up water bottles. Like, we'd be drinking water bottles in the gym and we'd empty them. And we would pick them up. And one day he walks up to me. He's got 11 in his mouth. You can't even make this up. 11 empty water bottles, like big like you just pick them up and carry them and bring them over to us.
Oh my God. And shoving them into his cheeks like a squirrel.
Yeah, it was exactly like that. It was so funny. They're such sweet dogs. Such good boys.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, Nikki, great to see you as always.
Always.
Bring the chickens next week.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll bring a
Thursday.
chickie up.
We're back Thursday. We're have
Oh,
Michelle
right.
back next week. So
Okay, perfect.
well, I'm assuming I got to confirm her, but she's on the calendar, so we'll see if that happens. So
Amazing.
all right. Well, for everyone listening, appreciate you guys joining us, and we'll see you later in the week.